let's go on to our next topic. It's going to be, wow, I guess these last three are my topics. Comic-Con. We're going to break it up into two parts. This first part is going to be DC-centric. And I wanted to talk about some things coming from Comic-Con in terms of DC.
All right.
So we'll get to the trailers in a minute. We had a lot of their TV show things like Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl. We got to see what Superman looks like, who's been casted, and he's going to appear in like 2 or 3 episodes.
For the TV shows.
Yeah, the TV show.
Yeah,
he looks pretty cool. I think the promo image didn't really do justice. He looked like he had caterpillar eyebrows that were way too close and a pencil neck, and he was very pale. Like, I don't know who. It was weird. It got a lot because a lot of people were like, "What is this casting?" And then you see him on the set, and he looks awesome. He fits the part.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know why they did it like that. But anyway, that's a fun tidbit. It's going to be on CW, which means it's going to be a part of the Arrow universe now. So that means CW 4 days a week is going to have a DC character. You're going to have Supergirl on Monday, you're going to have Flash on Tuesday, you're going to have Arrow on Wednesday, you're going to have Legends of Tomorrow on Thursday, which, by the way, has announced that they're going to do a Legion of Doom, which is super fun. If you've ever watched Super Friends, that 1960s DC cartoon, Legion of Doom, it's really cool. And then on Friday, eventually, they're going to have a crossover event that's going to span multiple weeks, and it's going to have all 4 of those shows rolled up into one. It's amazing.
What is Legends of Tomorrow?
Legends of Tomorrow is like Sliders Firefly meets superheroes, right? So there's this guy, Rick Hunter, and he comes from the future, and he's a time traveler. He's a time lord, right? And he's like, look, guys, fucking timeline's messed up, and I'm picking you guys because in the future, you're legends. So he picks like Atom and Hawkgirl and Hawkman and White Canary and Captain Cold, who's like a villain. And
I haven't heard of any of these people.
No, they're all. I haven't heard any of them. That's the thing. They're all like C heroes, right? And Brandon Roth, who played Superman Returns, stars as Atom. He's kind of like the Ant-Man, but a lot more nerdy Tony Stark. Really, really smart scientist. He can grow big and grow small. Iron Man-ish because he can fly around and shoot stuff. So Rick Hunter's like, I need all your help. He's British. He's like, we got to fight this guy who's like traveling through time. He gets resurrected. So what they do is they go into a spaceship and they fly around and they travel through time to try to stop these events. So they're in the 1950s and the 1960s. They're in like the future. They're in like the Wild West where they see the guy.
Seems kind of like a DC Guardians of the Galaxy or something.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. It's an ensemble of crazy characters that don't really know each other, come together and have to like learn to work together, and it's super fun. And so next season is going to be Justice Society and Legion of Doom, which will be really cool.
And these are going to be shows?
These are shows.
Or movies. Okay.
They're shows. So yeah, it's super fun to like see them like go back in time and do all this stuff. Yeah, so that looks good. Arrow season 5, we'll see what the fuck they do. Season 3 and 4 are terrible because the head writer has moved on to Flash, and Flash is getting all the love, and I don't know if the Arrow writers know what they're doing, but we'll see. Hopefully it gets better. They're introducing Artemis, which I find fun. Flash is going to do Flashpoint, which is the storyline in which Flash sacrifices himself to save the world, but in that event, it basically alters all of reality, and so people forget everything, and like it's like we've watched 2 seasons now and have timelines basically going back to the beginning of season 1, episode 1, and starting new. Certain characters don't know about characters. Certain characters have a different background now. They're like rich, some are poor. Like it's all this different stuff. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah. It's really cool though because they could take liberties and just start from scratch and like fix flaws that they found. So it's really neat.
Yeah. My thing for like all the comic book stuff in general is just like the background story, like I don't really care about as long as it's like good writing, like interesting to watch, you know?
Yeah.
Like Daredevil was not a character I really cared about too much, but like watching his show was really cool because they like the writing was really good and like they built up the character like as a viewer who's not invested in the history or like, you know, mythology of Daredevil or whatever.
Yeah, so speaking of Daredevil, Ben Affleck, Batfleck, Batman v Superman, Justice League.
Yeah.
Justice League trailer. That was also shown at Comic-Con. You both have watched it. What did you think about it?
Garbage.
I
thought the Justice League trailer was terrible.
Wow. Can you explain?
Okay, so Zack Snyder's universe has been like, in my interpretation, has been built up as this super dark, gritty, brooding like universe of like angst and like a one color palette and everything, like
Right.
like blue shadows and really warm, like lights on everything, kind of like Michael Bay almost in terms of like the lighting.
Yeah.
Then this trailer comes around, and it just feels like they're trying to throw together the what's the called? What's the one that coming out soon?
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, right? Really
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like funky and upbeat and like
Whoever's
like
doing
has,
their
like,
trailers, man.
comedy and stuff. And again, like just a quick segue. I mean, a quick divergent from that. Suicide Squad, I have no interest in.
Yeah,
like
no.
nothing about it is
Yeah, I
appealing
don't
to
either.
me.
No. The
Like, every time I see a
trailers make it look
every time I see
amazing.
the trailer, I'm just like, no, like nothing about this looks cool. Like
Nope.
nothing in the trailer is like a wow moment.
You're totally right. But I guess what I'm describing is that if you were going to take a piece of shit and shine it up to the best you could be, like, you can't do better than Suicide Squad's trailer. The
No.
music, the hitting with the beats of the action, you're like, okay, but I'm smart
But that's
enough.
what it's
like.
that
I know
feels like
this is
paint by
gonna be terrible.
numbers. That's why it feels like paint by numbers. It's like, oh, like
It's-
hit up, have somebody punch at the same time.
Yeah,
The music is like a punch,
Boom.
like
Boom.
I'm just like, oh, looks like we're some kind of Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
just shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
is so stupid. Like,
No, you're
nothing
totally
about this
right.
looks cool. And then the casting is just like, I hate what's his name.
Smith.
Not Will Smith,
I
the
know.
other guy, Jai Courtney, that's like in
Oh.
fucking everything these days, and he's like a terrible actor.
Margot Robbie.
Jared Leto just looks like Yukiko and I just said, this whole movie looks like a Hot Topic ad.
Ugh, you're right.
It
Like
does.
everything
Yeah, the
about
style
it
is
is like
terrible.
Hot Topic looking.
Yeah. No,
You know,
I hate
like
it.
zany, I'm wacky, I'm different, but
Yeah.
it's like not in a cool way at
like,
all.
yeah,
yeah.
It's like a caricature of being different.
I think I really do think it's gonna bomb. I know they're doing reshoots, trying to make it more funny. They're trying to turn the ship around because recently, right, the Jeff Johns has been promoted to. He was promoted as head of DC Entertainment. Now he's just recently been promoted to VP of DC Entertainment. So
Oh, wow.
they're definitely giving him a lot more leash because he does know what he's doing. But they've allowed Zack Snyder to take DC's universe in such a direction that it's going to take a while to
Yeah.
turn around. And so now you have that juxtaposition of this dark one palette style movies with this weird like unnaturally like cohesive. They're trying to inject jokes and fun and playfulness, but the style is not representative of that, right? Even in the Justice League trailer,
Yeah.
it's all still
Just-
one tone and like really like post-apocalyptic, divergent Hunger Games-esque style.
Yeah.
and they're trying to be funny within it, and it's like it just
Yeah, it just doesn't.
match,
That doesn't
right?
work. Like all the humor in the whole trailer just didn't work for me. I was just like, I don't get it. Why are they being like so like campy
Zany
and like
and
cheesy?
funny.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and like Aquaman's a drunk.
yeah,
Well, okay, so that's who it was. That's Aquaman, right?
Yeah,
I
is
was
that
sitting
what
there
you're-
wondering. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Arthur
okay,
Curry is Aquaman.
I mean,
Played by
I
Jason
think
Momoa.
that was probably like one of the only things I really liked about the trailer. I mean, the rest of it was like you said, I didn't like the zany or like how they're trying to throw those little funny punchlines in, and it feels so forced,
Yeah.
and it just didn't feel like smooth or anything.
Here's the
so.
thing, though, is that there like I see the like what I see is the potential, because you contrast this trailer with Batman v Superman, and Batman like that it's just crap. You're just like, this looks terrible. This is a jumbled mess, and then you see what they're trying to at least do in terms of turning the ship around, and I'm like, wow, if you guys just. Like, I see the potential in a Justice League movie now because of some of the campiness and some of the quips and some of the way that they're putting the trailer together. I'm like, wow, now if it just was like shiny and like happy and a little bit more joyful like the Marvel's doing, I could really get behind this and get excited. So like I had just such low hopes after seeing, but I was like, they're done. They're fucking done. And they're actually trying to now like just course correct, and I can see it, and it gets me excited because if they can pull it off, which they have a long way to go, granted, I would be really happy.
Now, I think they really did turn the ship around by creating Batman Lego. That was the best trailer. That was the best
dude.
trailer.
I
by
mean,
far.
and I've been saying that has been the best DC movie
Yeah.
product for the longest time since like
It's
Nolan
hilarious
stuff. Yeah, it's so fun, and it's not like just campy, superhero campy, but like it's really well written. What's his face does a great job as the voice actor for Batman.
That's Will
Arnett.
Yeah.
Arnett, yeah.
And then this latest trailer really shows what the arc is going to be about. You have this jerk playboy Batman character, and he's going to become a softie because he's going to start caring about this young boy who he's
flamboyant
adopted.
boy.
This flamboyant boy who's all full of joy and happiness. And it's kind of interesting, right? Because it's an interesting like parallel or metaphor for what DC's problems are. The DC movie universes are Will Arnett's Batman. They're way too fucking serious. They're way too like full of themselves and egotistical and like kind of a jerk, right? And then you have this like glimmer of hope in this boy of like, hey man, it's cool, we're superheroes, let's have fun. It's like, yeah, this is what these movies should be about. And
no
like,
pants.
Yeah, no pants. Now we're grooving. Like it was super cool. So yeah, hopefully, like I'm more excited about any DC movie. I'm not more excited about any other DC movie than that movie.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go see that.
But Justice League has me intrigued. I'll see what else they do. The other DC movie was Wonder Woman, which looks really boring, to be honest with you.
What? I thought that trailer was way, way, way better than the Justice League one.
It was, because the action looks really great. But there's something about some of those, like... it felt flat. I was watching it again, and some of those lines, the dialogue between
the soldier dude,
Gal Gadot and Chris Pine felt flat.
That's the thing, though. That was the only part of the trailer that I didn't like is the humor. Again, like they're really trying to like push up like the humor aspect of all these DC trailers.
Yeah.
Which Marvel has in abundance in their movies and in their trailers. Like it's really funny, like one-liners, snappy dialogue. You know, like the Joss Whedon style where everything's like back and forth. Everybody always has the perfect response.
Yeah.
And it just feels like they're imitating that rather than just trying to like make something genuinely like a funny line or like have a certain design behind it, because like you said, the action in the DC movies, to be honest, to me appeals way more than what's in the Marvel ones, than an Iron Man type movie or Avengers. It's just like so like over the top, camera like flying all over the place. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Well,
it's so choreographed. This one, it just feels like that a little bit more grittier style, where it's like a little bit more impact behind everything.
What Wonder Woman was doing and blocking the stuff and just getting like shot in her armor and like just taking out guys, like that looked phenomenal. But like when she was like, he's like, what about your father? She's like, I don't have a father. I was carved a stone from Zeus. And Chris Pine is just like, it's just a weird, his comedy timing. He's just like, okay. And I was like, well, that was a punchline. That didn't come off as a punchline. Yeah. In the beginning, where she's like, "You're a man," he's like, "Yeah." Do I not look like one? Like, fell flat too. Like there was like weird,
awkward. That's the thing. It just feels out of place in this trailer specifically because it builds up to be more of that epic,
Yeah.
Where like if this reminds me of like Troy, basically. This trailer.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a trailer for Troy where it's very actiony. You like see the like hardcore like battling and everything.
I'm very intrigued that it's World War One.
Not needed in a trailer. Maybe just like some like hype lines to like get you excited for everything, but no like quippy one-liners or anything like that. Like snappy dialogue to show like, hey, we're funny too, guys. We're funny.
Yeah,
we're funny.
I do love that her costume is a lot brighter than what it was.
I actually did like that. It like really
awesome. It looks great. Like that was amazing.
Even the rope, like I was like, I'm not sure about it. Like the bright gold rope. I mean, even that's what she looks like.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be fine. Like by the time I saw it, like the second time in the trailer, I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool actually.
It's almost
I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
It's almost, it would have been more interesting if that was the crux artistic style of what they were trying to do. You have the Nolan universe where it was really dark, and it would be such a statement to say, look, we understand that 9/11 is still having ripple effects. We understand that terrorism is running rapid. We understand that there's a crazy political thing. So it's very dark, right? Superheroes are supposed to escape your reality and allow you to get some joy in life, right?
Yeah.
That's what they represent. So if you had this gritty background style with something like Wonder Woman's costume where the superheroes almost have the Sin City vibrant glow to them. I think that would be really interesting.
Cool. I agree.
Because amongst this chaos and amongst this like tragedy, you have these characters, these icons that are supposed to represent hope and joy. And so Superman's got some light to him. Batman even his belt and his like emblem even has some light to him. Maybe his like cape has like tints of blue or purple. Like really interesting to see, and it'd be like really cool. So anyway, if they move that direction, I would be interested. So
I agree. Yeah, that's a good point. And that point about making like these superhero things are about doing fantastical things and like kind of escaping reality a bit.
Yeah,
that is one thing that's like can be a bit exhausting from the Nolan universe. It's like
one palette.
This is like so like serious and like overwhelming and like deep. It's like I mean maybe not the later ones like third one kind of moved away, got to more ridiculous levels than like the first two.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I think like this trailer especially is like really cool. She's like jumping through the air and like I like the setting of World War One.
Yes.
World War One and everything is really cool.
It was pretty cool when she was like at that party and she had the sword like in her dress.
Yes,
thank you.
That's
pretty
because it almost looked oddly appropriate, like a part of her dress, like the way the handle and the way that her dress meshed with the grip. But like and then she goes to grab it and you're like, oh shit's going down.
Yeah, exactly.
Just talk about for a second how fucking badass Wonder Woman trailer music is.
I was just going to bring that up.
Music, because it's by far. Hey, Friday. Yukiko, don't let her jump out.
What Alan is describing is Hans Zimmer's last superhero music that he's quoted to ever write, and Wonder Woman's music is freaking awesome. Yeah,
that was his. Yeah, it's so fucking badass. Like it's by far the best music from on any of the DC movies. Like probably from the Marvel movies too. Like Marvel is like unmemorable soundtracks and everything, but like this theme, like at the end of it when the Wonder Woman logo comes out and that music kicks in, I was just like. That was so cool.
Yeah. So in DC, Superman versus Batman, anytime Diana Prince or Wonder Woman is on screen, that music is playing. It's really great music, but someone made a comment that I thought was really funny and true. Is like they were using it almost inappropriate. Like she would come on screen and you were like, blah, 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 and it's got this like '90s like techno, and then like that's fun in the style that they did with the trailer. But like in Batman v Superman, fucking. Batman shooting stuff. Superman's got lasers. Doomsday is like shooting up like electrical stuff. So they were like, man, anytime Wonder Woman's music came on, it felt like it was a German discotheque in the '90s because like that music's playing, like all this like light is blaring. It's like this like so it was just more mess of what that movie was. Yeah, it was bad. But like the trailer was, and I'm hoping in the movie Wonder Woman they use this music appropriately, right? In contrast to what's going around in the scene.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just like I like that they're just kind of going back to a cinematic movie score rather than like all these trailers that have like a popular song or like an '80s song that's like that's way different. Jesus, I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Yeah,
it's just like trying to be like, oh, like we're like edgy, like I kind of miss just like. I think it feels like that, like with the whole, it started with Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Like with the song, but it made sense for Guardians of the Galaxy because of the time he comes from and like the whole like recording and everything. But now every single fucking trailer is like, oh, now we're going to play like fucking AC/DC with this, and like it's just like out of fucking nowhere. It makes no sense.
Well, AC/DC made sense for Iron Man too. Like Marvel is picking things artistically where it makes sense. DC is like, well, they had a rock song.
It worked for them,
it made money. So let's throw in White Stripes. Let's throw in Queen. Let's throw in, like, none of that music it makes sense from an artistic standpoint, right? And why it's being paired with these characters in the story.